Fluffy, load up. Oh, wow, look at this dog. Are you ready? I know I'm ready. Please stay. I want you, I need you, oh God. If you can read that sign right there and see this big giant building right behind me, that is the Elizabethtown Community College. It is our last day of class, which means that I'm a little bit sad, but I'm extremely happy that my classes are finished. I think we got a slight issue. There's nobody inside. The lights are off. Nobody is inside the classroom at all. 7 minutes until class starts. Normally all of us older folks or veterans are the first ones to show up, and it's normal that everybody else, shows up late. But since I wasn't here on Tuesday, I wonder if there's class today. I didn't get an email that said otherwise. All right, so in the meantime, I'm gonna get up here and teach you guys a little something. A little something about dedication, determination, and finding your purpose in life. You see, a lot of us veterans, when we join the military, we find our purpose in the military with our MOS. Our MOS is our job. That is what we do inside the military besides our main priority, which is the infantry. Now, during my time in the military, I was a chef. I cooked it up for the soldiers, and I made some amazing meals for thousands upon thousands, if not millions upon millions of soldiers all around the world. It was at this time that I really was trying to find my purpose besides cooking, and that was learning to understand what was going on with those soldiers that were coming in front of me, to find their food, their nutrition, and something to boost their morale. So I would stand in line and not just serve those meals, when they would come through the dining facility. I would talk to them, network with them, communicate with them, and show them that we cared about them. You see, back when the military first started, they made this sentence that said that cooks were there from the beginning. That sentence was, to make a good stew for your company. Because without some good food, nutrition, you wouldn't have the energy to complete those missions when you were out there. So I'm just saying, cooks have been there since the beginning. But going back, finding my purpose, when I was serving those meals and cooking those meals, I realized that there was a little more out there for me. This is when I went to Iraq, and I realized that, if I just was gonna be a cook, inside of a box, like, a square perimeter pretty much, that's all I would be as a cook that deployed to Iraq and just cook some meals. I knew that there was a little bit more out there that I could do to help the soldiers, help support the infantry, help support the mission. So on my downtime, I would go to the medevac tent and volunteer. And since I was a part of aviation, I also volunteered to go on some missions, flying all over Iraq. I was lucky enough to be the only cook in my company and one of the very few people in my company to leave the wire. I flew all over to southern Baghdad to all the way up to Nexa, Turkey, completed a couple missions. And then when I came back, I'd go right back to my normal job of being a cook. You see, with my time in Iraq, I was really trying to find my purpose of helping soldiers, helping the community, helping the nation, and helping each and every person in the world. But since I was so young, I really didn't know my true outcome and true dream in life. This is when I came back to the States and was lucky enough to transfer over to Colorado when I was picked up with some military police. The military police battalion to be exact, and that's who I continued to work with for the next year or so. But then fate would have it. Fate would have me walk down a hallway one day, look in an office room to what I thought were some soldiers wearing a jacked up uniform. This is when I opened up my mouth, said a rude comment to these soldiers, and then it was at that moment I realized I messed up. You see, everybody, these weren't just some young soldiers. These soldiers were special soldiers. They looked right at me and said, "Do you realize who you're talking to?" I looked right at them and said, "Do you realize who you're talking to?" The tall, shaved-headed guy looked right at me and he said, "You're coming with us." I looked right at him and I said, "I kind of know what you do, but tell me more." He proceeded to tell me that he was part of group and I was going to go with them to do some really awesome training and do some things that we were going to prepare the soldiers to go to Afghanistan for. I was extremely excited because I knew that these type of soldiers, this type of group, this type of team wasn't just your ordinary team. This team was a team that I wanted to be a part of. So for the next couple of weeks, I thought I found my purpose. My purpose was to be with these soldiers, and I would do anything and everything to be a part of this group. I lost a whole bunch of weight. I trained with them multiple times a day. I went and trained out in the field with them. But then when we were training with some agencies, this is when I got hurt. I got hurt severely and broke my neck. I tried to hide my injuries, but I couldn't even continue on a basic mission out in the field. I would either take off my helmet every single chance that I get or just say, oh, I got a neck cramp and everything so I wouldn't have to wear it. I would also put up my body armor so high that it would push up my helmet just enough to get that leverage off of my spine. And after going out on a training mission, preparing to go to Afghanistan, I was confronted. I was confronted by somebody very special to me that I would never forget. Never forget exactly what he said to me. He said, "Big O, that soldier over there just died, and you have to live the rest of your life knowing that he died because you couldn't do and be up to par like you're supposed to complete the mission." Thought about that for a second, and it hit home. It hit home so much that I realized that I cannot be a soldier no more. And for many, many months after that moment, the Army sent me to South Korea and then to a Wounded Warrior Battalion where I transitioned out the military. And during all those months, I did not find my purpose because I thought that my purpose was being that soldier, being that team member, going out there and completing missions, taking care of America. I thought that was my purpose. And now my purpose is not here no more, and it is completely gone. You see, everybody, that is what happens to a lot of us veterans when we get out the military, is we lose our purpose and we try so hard doing this, dibble-dabbling in anything and everything that we can to try to find our purpose again. I became a professional fisherman working with Bass Pro Shops, Walmart, Cabela's, and so many other great companies all around the nation. I've been lucky enough to be on The Early Show on CBS, many news stations all around the nation, telling my story and influencing others to help the veteran and military community. Doing all of that, still feeling lost because I didn't understand the importance of storytelling and motivating people all around the world because everybody struggles. Most people just hide it better than others. So when I was doing all of that, I was also dealing with a lot of severe medical issues. Severe medical issues like my whole neck spine being replaced, having cages, cadaver, bones, and such all in my neck. I also suffer from cardiac issues, my lower spine still broken, and other medical illnesses that will always affect my life for the rest of it. Now, one of those medical conditions increased to the point where I had to call 911 and an ambulance had to come, and I died in the ambulance. Now, that story is for another episode, but it was at that moment that I realized that I need to continue to follow my dreams and truly find my purpose. You see, before in the military, my purpose was helping my soldiers and completing the mission. But since I've been out the military, I don't have any more soldiers and I don't have a mission like I used to. But then it dawned on me. It dawned on me that my soldiers now is my community. If I take care of my community takes care of me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my mission now. Now I leave you with this. I leave you with something that we can all resonate with. No matter what you're going through, no matter what challenges you may face in the future, know that you can still follow your dreams. You can still find that motivation to pursue your happiness, to find your purpose in life, and ultimately follow your dreams. With that being said, thank you all for your time. I hope you enjoyed my final day at college class of coming up here, doing a little speech, having a little fun, because there's nobody back there today. But this is what we do. We practice our speeches, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a little bit of fun with it. Because I have filled up many seats just like this, and even giant crowds, giant stadiums. I filled those up, but I still come here and practice as much as I can every chance that I get. Because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, it is very important to tell your story, and I am going to tell my story all around the world. I really am. Guys, seriously, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that thumbs up button. This video is not supposed to be like this. With that being said, we're just gonna wrap it up right there, and this is an awesome video, and we'll film a little something else tomorrow. Y'all have an amazing day. Follow your dreams. This is the Fluffy Poodle, Daniel the Big O. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.